All Indiana Bets, presented for the people, powered by Caesars Sportsbook.
We're just talking about real nice surprises, and we're surprised that you're joining us, and we're happy that you are, but we know you like to make money. Welcome to All Indiana Bets.
Was that a Cousin Eddie reference, Mackenzie?
I tell Serena nice surprise.
Atta girl. Well done.
Yes, you know, we love interaction, so please hit us up on social media if you have some hot tips, some hot bets. I mean, share with the class. Big shout out to Booty Petty, big fan of the show. He's married to a lovely lady. Yeah, he goes by Booty. He's married to Carrie. They like to watch together.
Hey, big shout out to all Booty. I'm just like, you know, I don't know.
We're big fans.
We're a big fan.
This is the official program of Booty in Indianapolis.
And we're going to try to make you some booty.
That's right.
And talking about big surprises.
Oh, we flipped the script on the
see what you
meaning
did
of
there.
booty.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm going the pirate version. The big surprise last week was not Jason. He was all over Purdue in the Iowa game. But you notice I didn't take Iowa in that game. But the bigger surprise was they didn't just cover. They stomped. And here we come this week with our other game. This is one of the biggest games in the country. This is a huge game in the Big Ten West. Purdue, Wisconsin. Where are your head on that one? Because I know we're not picking it, but.
This is like the prototypical Big Ten matchup, right?
Yes.
It's a crisp October Saturday. The field is wet from a couple days worth of rain.
You've been tailgating since what, 7 a.m.
It's a low point spread. It's a low over-under. Wisconsin's involved. There's going to be a bunch of punts. This is everything you think a Big Ten football game is going to be.
You know what I loved? I was listening to Coach Jeff Brom, and he was talking about how his whole career at Louisville and here, his defense has always been like, I just let my defensive coordinators do whatever they want. I hire them, and then I let them. And he's like, I got tired of watching defenses that really weren't me. And I'm an offensive guy, but I know what defenses I don't want to face.
Right.
So he brought in a couple people. He's kind of working with them. He's got more control. Obviously, it's off to a great start. It helps when you have maybe the best defensive lineman in the country. He's going to be one of the top 15 picks.
They outmuscled Iowa last weekend. Purdue outmuscled the Hawkeyes, which is hard to do.
And that's what they're going to have to do again today against Wisconsin. I would just say the really interesting thing of that game was there were three quarterbacks. They were running three quarterbacks. And I think that's kind of the future with teams and worrying about like top quarterbacks wanting to transfer if they're the second or the third string. Play them some in the game unless you've got Trevor Lawrence or you got Deshaun Watson. And why I say that is that's my game that I want to talk about here. Pittsburgh and Clemson.
Oh, yes.
And wow, have you seen Clemson this year? I've tried a couple times. That is not must-see TV. Their offense is
opposite, you might say.
Horrific. When you watch them, it's like, oh my Lord, I gotta find a MAC game to see some offense. And how does that happen? But then what happened at Clemson? Well, when you have Deshaun Watson, who's a top 5 quarterback, and then you have Trevor Lawrence, who's maybe one of the 5 or 10 greatest college quarterbacks in the history of the NFL or NCAA, and then you lose him, it's a big drop down. All of a sudden, the coach gets exposed. It's like, his name's Dabo. I mean, is that an offensive genius, or was it the talent and the recruiting? I love Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got the quarterback. This guy could actually become maybe one of the front runners for the Heisman Trophy after this game against a pretty good Clemson defense, not as good as even people thought it was.
Now, I'll listen to your argument about how quarterbacks make the team, but you can't throw any heat at Dabo here because the kid he's got back there was the #1 ranked quarterback coming out of high school. Now, sometimes they pan out, sometimes they don't, but my man has been a machine in terms of recruiting quarterbacks.
Oh, no, he recruits them great, but it kind of shows that maybe, hey, I don't have a Deshaun Watson talent, and he's been proven that he shouldn't have been that #1. We've seen guys even from the state of Indiana be the #1 quarterback come out, and that maybe a quarterback that came from Columbus that went to Notre Dame, and then he moved to Indiana, and he transferred all over the state, never could even become a starter, so it can happen.
It can happen. Anything can happen. Hey, Rob Kendall just tweeted in, and he wanted us all to blow him a kiss. So I think we should do that. That's what we do.
So we're doing one-on-one like things now? This show has turned into Cameo? That's what we're doing now? Like for $35, it's like Cameo, Mackenzie will blow you a kiss? Is that what we're doing now?
You know what, though? What we will do, we'll give you the long shot, because we give the people what they want, right? It's coming up next.
We do.
Another long shot with Scott Long, sponsored by Caesars Sportsbook. All right, stay with us.
Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
All right, what's coming in hot for you, Hammer? You were looking at your phone.
Because you were talking about how somebody sent you a message asking you to blow them a kiss. And I joked that this is starting to turn into Cameo, that one website where these B and C list and D list celebrities charge you a certain price to have a personalized message.
It's fun, though. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do right now. Before we get to the long shot, let's play a quick round of Cameo Price is Right.
All right.
I'm going to give you the name of a celebrity that's on Cameo. You tell me how much they charge for a personalized message.
All right.
Dolph Lundgren, the big angry Russian in
Does he have
Rocky
his
IV.
shirt on or off?
Rocky IV.
Yeah, does he have his shirt on or off?
Your call.
Okay.
How much does Dolph Lundgren charge on Cameo? Closest without going over, Mackenzie.
I'm going to say 200.
201.
$350.
You Price is Right at me.
I did. I'll go first
Price
this
is
time.
Right at
I'll
me.
go first.
All right,
Okay.
last one. Here we go. Former New York Mets legend and Seinfeld side character Keith Hernandez. Closest without going over, we start with Scott.
That he needs a lot of money for that, just for men. So I'm guessing 275.
I'm going to say $99.99.
Mackenzie's the winner, $165 for a message personalized from Keith Hernandez.
Man, I thought I had the long shot, but that one. And if you haven't been noticing, I think they posted my record for this year. I am right at. Well, I put the number out. I sent it in to you guys. I don't want to tell you the number, but it was 69.4%.
It's unbelievable.
Woo, that is
like
incredible.
what you're doing with college football is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Slow clap.
So
Nicely done.
I send it in, and my wife, we're on vacation. By the way, I'm only the third fittest guy at the Wisconsin water slide. So now I'm on a diet today.
The third fittest.
I send it in, and she says, well, that's 69.4. That's not 70%. That's the kind of checking that I get from my wife.
I love it.
That's close enough to 70.
I love it. I love it. That's why women, a lot of times we come home after shopping and then we always just, you round down. About
Round
how much
down.
you
Okay.
spend. Round
So you
down.
see, take Northwestern, 23.5. Michigan is not good enough to be 24-point favorites or anywhere close to that. It's probably going to be a 17-point game. There's a new producer in our studios now named Peter. He's
Peter.
sprinkling money on the money line on it. That's how much he thinks this is off. So,
wow.
Pat Fitzgerald is not going to lose by more than 21 points to Harbaugh. That's how I break this game down.
All right. All right. I will see your Big Ten matchup because you're a Big Ten guy. And I go to the SEC because I'm an SEC guy. And look, my Tennessee Volunteers are not going to win today. This point spread is around 25, 25.5, depending on where you look. I'm going to do something a little different here. I like a point total for one team. And that team is the Rocky Top Tennessee Volunteers.
Oh, come on.
Look, I don't know if they cover 25. I don't know if they get blown out by 50. But I do feel like the Vols are good enough for at least 3 touchdowns to get over 20.5. And this is what's great about sports betting is you can go to your app and you can find all types of different ways to bet on these various games. And this is an example here. If you don't like the total, if you don't like the over-under, anything there, look at a one-sided total. I'm going over 20.5 points for the Tennessee Volunteers. It's supposed to be the third Saturday in October. It hasn't been that way in a long time, but that's okay because Tennessee hasn't been competitive in a long time. Over 20.5 Tennessee total points today.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
I could see a final of 70-21.
Yes.
Yeah,
And if
you
that
would.
happens, my toes are tapping, baby.
My toes
We're
are
going to
tapping.
Sizzler.
Do you get sad that when the Vols lose? I mean, your team?
He's gotten so much used to it.
I mean,
at
over
this
and over,
point.
you just have
Mackenzie, I was the one that sent in the golf ball that they threw last week.
Speaking of balls, balling on a budget. All right.
Look at that segue right
yeah,
there.
that's what I did. All right, so hey, if you want to be a baller, but you're like, hey, I'm out of budget, we got you.
So if you just have $5, here's a way that you can have fun all throughout the afternoon here. $5 parlay would pay out around $66, give or take. I'm with Scott. I like Northwestern getting the points against Michigan. They're not going to win, but 23.5 is a lot. Syracuse at Virginia Tech. Cue up Inner Sandman. I like Virginia Tech here, laying the 3.5. The hook scares me a little bit. If you want to buy that hook, don't be afraid. Under 59, USC at Notre Dame. I just don't see that many points for this matchup. And of course, I gave you this one earlier, the Buckeyes. A gift from the gambling gods that it's down to 21 from 21.5. Make these bets. You'll have some fun in the afternoon. $5 to win 66. Let's go.
Let's go. We like, holidays are upon us. We need that money. All right.
That's right.
Stop it. Hey, coming up next, it's the Evan Williams Best Bet. These are the games that are going to make you the most money. We'll be right back.
The Best Bet is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
I found somebody on Cameo. I found somebody on Cameo. So in the last break, we were kind of joking that all these B and C
He's like,
B-list celebrities
are on this Cameo thing.
Right, it's this site where you pay to get a personalized message from somebody that used to be a star.
Hey, win some money this weekend while you watch All Indiana Bets.
Mackenzie Roth is on Cameo.
That is awesome.
How much do you charge?
I don't know.
It says here
You're making me blush.
$50.
That seems fair.
$50.
That's fair.
So if anybody that's watching right now wants to get a personalized message from you,
there you go.
And you'll say anything. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's
Not
clean or
anything.
filthy. You'll say anything. $50. Find
Nice.
Mackenzie Roth on Cameo.
You know
right?
what's really cool? Like, it's cool when you do like anniversary shout-outs, or you do like a sports league or like betting shout-out. It's fun, and just personalized.
Hey, can I give my pitch?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm on OnlyFans. You have to get me after midnight. I tuck my kids into bed, and then I'm on. I've got some new outfits. So
Yeah.
let me. What's our best bets? Right.
Yeah, let's get to our
Evan
best bet. All right,
Williams.
Hammer.
I like a good old-fashioned revenge game. I'm a very vengeful person. I'm a very spiteful person. And this is a great revenge spot for Chip Kelly at UCLA. 1.5 is the line. That doesn't seem like it's all that much here, considering what UCLA has at stake here. And trust me, if Chip Kelly can hang 70 on Oregon, his old stomping ground, he will absolutely do that. This is a good spot. I think the wrong team is the favorite in this game, to be honest with you. I like UCLA. I like Chip Kelly. If he can run up the score, he will. He's that kind of guy. He's a vengeful guy. He's my kind of guy. -1.5 UCLA. Let's go.
You're like, he's vengeful, he's horrible, he's my type of dude. I like that. I like that. Scott, what you got?
Now here's the best bet that people actually tune in for. And let's
Well,
put
but
this on.
Here comes
is
Grandpa's
flex.
readers.
No, there we go. So TCU, do you guys know what the name of TCU, their mascot is?
They are the Horned Frogs.
The Horned Frogs. The Mountaineers are going this direction. Their coach is falling right down. TCU has had some struggles lately, but they've been playing some really good football teams. I think this is the week where TCU, who is a quality football team, they'll be a bowl team. West Virginia will be lucky to win 4 games this year. Take the 4.5. They're giving you an opportunity at a best bet winner.
I do love, though, after a West Virginia home game, the big group sing-along to Country Roads.
Yes.
Oh, one of the great sights in college football. I love a good drunken sing-along. It's one of my favorite
they're
things.
going to sing
We
it
all
while they
certainly
lose.
do. They're going to sing while they lose. Speaking of singing and drinking, we're going to head back to the bar. It's about that time. But
About
coming up
time.
next, Hammer is going to have his Degenerate Special. If you don't know what it is, you're going to find out. You're going to love it. It's next. We made it halfway through the show.
Here
And
we go.
Now we have some fun. We have some cocktails. We get into it a little more with the Degenerate Special. Okay, so for those viewers who aren't familiar, tell us about what exactly is the Degenerate Special.
Listen, the Degenerate Special is a game that only degenerate gamblers like myself care about. It's some no-name teams.
Yes.
The parents don't care. The fan base doesn't care. The school doesn't really care. But Las Vegas cares enough to put a line on something, so I'm in. The money you can win on this game is the same money you can win on a Big Ten or SEC game, so let's turn to the MAC. It can't be a real degenerate special unless you're talking about some Saturday MACtion. And we've got directional Michigan in play. Western Michigan on the road taking on Toledo here. And these are two programs going in opposite directions. This is not the same Toledo squad that took Notre Dame to the wire. Not the same Toledo squad that should have beaten Notre Dame, actually. Western Michigan, they've been getting better every single week. Toledo, they've been going the opposite direction here. And conditions today should be pretty good, should be a clear day, temperatures in the 50s, no weather to worry about. So the better team should win this matchup, and Western Michigan is the better team. You can find this at 1.5, you can find this at 2. Let's do worst case scenario, okay? Take this at 2, Western Michigan. The Broncos cover your degenerate special.
Ooh, I like that.
I was Toledo'd last week, so I am hoping that the Broncos cover this game.
A good old-fashioned spite.
Yeah, I like turning that into a verb, Toledo'd.
Toledo'd.
Totally Toledo'd.
Not a lot of cities can actually say a verb like that, and you're like, oh yeah, that would be a Toledo.
It's totally Toledo'd.
So, wow, once again, I like to look at my own picks just really carefully.
This is like Clark Kent, like when he takes the glasses off, oh my God, it's Superman.
And then he
I
rips
didn't
off
see
his
that
shirt.
coming.
Now, this is one of those picks where you're like, what is he doing? San Diego State is ranked, but then you look at the points and you're like, well, Air Force is favored? There's a few games this week that are very confusing like that, but Air Force is the better team. San Diego State has no offense. They got the Brady Hoke offense, which is no offense. They do grind the ball out, but Air Force is the king of the grinded outs. They might throw 5 passes in this game, but Air Force is really kind of on the uptake, kind of flying over as we cover the 3.
Cover.
I love that visual
there it
you're
is.
painting for
Like
us.
a Top Gun.
Like a Top Gun. Still waiting for Maverick to come out. Still waiting. All right, we can't wait for that. Hey, you guys know who we love. The wise guy.
Dude, the Cashman,
The
Alan
Cashman.
Cashman, big, hairy American winning machine.
That's right.
He hasn't missed a game in a month.
He's going to make you some money. That's up next.
Here we are, Wise Guy segment with Alan Cashman. Hear the sounds of the fire alarm going off in his place because this dude cannot stop picking winners. What do you got on tap this week, Alan?
Hey, Scott, thank you. I'm going to take Pitt -3 hosting Clemson this week. This is Clemson offense. Hasn't been very good this year. They're only completing about 55% of their passes. The Clemson offense, number 114 in total yards in the nation, number 113 in scoring. This Pitt offense, number 4 in the nation when they come in total yards, number 2 in scoring. Kenny Pickett for Pitt will be the best quarterback Clemson has faced this year, I think. And Clemson struggled last week at Syracuse with a pretty inept quarterback situation. Clemson 0-7 against the spread in their last 7. Pitt 7-1 against their spread as a favorite in their last 8. So I'm going to take Pitt -3 in this one.
This game was probably a 17-point line for Clemson at the start of the year. I love this pick as well. I like Pitt. Let's find out about number 2 on your list.
I'm going to take Oklahoma State. They're going to Iowa State, getting 7 points. Oklahoma State, undefeated, number 9 in the nation. Don't love their quarterback play right now, but they are a really good defensive club. They've held opponents to 289 yards per game in the last 4 weeks. 2 of those opponents were Texas and a very good Baylor offense. Iowa State's already lost to Baylor this year. They're really not reliable, I don't think. Oklahoma State has covered +7 in the last 12 versus Iowa State. So I'll take Oklahoma State +7 in this one.
Yeah, there is no line that makes less sense than how Oklahoma State can be a +7 in this situation. Okay, so I'm always curious. I know a lot of our viewers are. Who is this Alan Cashman? Where does he come from? Give us the lowdown.
Just an average guy from Indianapolis, owned a business for years, was a casual sports bettor, did fairly well just off of basic knowledge. I started taking it a little more seriously and spending time doing the research and got really good at it. Gained a following over the last 5 or 6 years. And here I am with you every week now, appearing on All Indiana Bets.
Living the dream. He went from average Allen to above average Allen. a lot of us could go to Above Average Allen's too if we buy the package that Alan Cashman Wins has. How do we find out about that?
Go to my website, thecashmanwins.com. Packages on there for less than $2 a week. Right now, 1 year, $52, $1 a week. And that's at thecashmanwins.com.
Thank you, Alan. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, Scott, thank you.
He is the man. I love it. I mean,
He's
so
rolling.
impressive, right?
So during this program that we've been doing since the beginning of college football season, he's been picking 2 games every show. He hasn't missed a pick in a month.
No.
I mean, he's that good. And for that rate that he offers for his subscription service, like I bet that much money sitting on the can when I'm bored. So you can get the advice of the Cashman for a great value
Think
there.
about Keith Hernandez is charging $175
That's right.
for like 3 minutes on the Cameo. He's giving you picks every day, practically, basketball and all this. And he doesn't seem to be a guy that would have a kale smoothie like we saw.
Yeah, these
our
two giving me
come in.
guff. So this morning we have a
Guff.
free giving me guff.
Thanks, Aunt B. How old are you? We were giving you
Listen,
guff.
boy.
Don't be sassing me, boy.
So I was having a healthy breakfast. These two having Mountain Dew and pop and candy.
Well, I mean, look at this body. Like some of us clearly care about their physique, Mackenzie.
I like
Touche.
kale, I'll admit it, if it's deep fried with ranch. That's the way I'm an Indiana guy. So Hammer is talking this next pick, right? Are we going to go
Yeah,
there?
because I am going to be able to afford all the beef jerky, all the Mountain Dew I can handle by betting Boston College +6 here. Listen, I'm not mad at Louisville, but this is just too many points for Boston College. This is one of those games to where you think that it's probably going to be a win for the home team, but the point spread is just a little too high here. Take Boston College. I don't know if this is going to be a low-scoring game, but if it is, you always want as many points as possible. I'm scooping up 6, take BC, and then you can afford the Hammer diet of booze, Mountain Dew, beef jerky, and Pop-Tarts.
It's rain and tater tots. We like that a lot. We like that a lot.
Speaking of raining things down, last week, Ole Miss was on the receiving end of some things from my Tennessee Volunteer brethren, some trash, some golf balls. There was some pretty horrific officiating, but still no excuse to throw things down. And now Ole Miss back in action today, number 12 team in the country. I think they have the best quarterback in the country, taking on LSU. I'm not picking this game. The line is 8. But it's crazy. The over-under is over 72 here, Scott. And if I would have told you 10, 15 years ago that SEC games would have over-unders of like upper 70s and 80s like we've seen already this year, you probably would have been laughed at.
Well, things change. Coach O goes to LSU and Tigers. And, I like that severance package they gave me. I'm just kind of filling in. We beat Florida last week, we might beat Mississippi this week. Who knows? Don't bet on us. I have no clue what's going to happen.
LSU will be looking for a new head coach this year because it turns out Ed Orgeron went from chasing national championships to chasing tail, and that's a problem. When you don't win at LSU, you get shown the door.
That's right.
Now, Mississippi, I said, has the best quarterback in the nation. Take a look at some of the latest Heisman odds. And again, these odds vary from wherever you want to make your bets.
Right, exactly.
Right?
That's important to know, though.
But it's pretty close, though. Like, give or take a few spots on the line here. This is pretty close to what you're going to find universally. Bryce Young, the quarterback of Alabama, your clubhouse leader, plus 150, meaning your $20 bet pays you out $50. And here comes Matt Corral of Ole Miss, dual threat guy, can throw, can run, single-handedly was the reason Ole Miss beat Tennessee last week. Some pretty decent value there. But if you're looking for value, Scott, what about C.J. Stroud, the quarterback of the Buckeyes, or the non-quarterback in contention here from Michigan State, the running back?
I think people are tired of Ohio State quarterbacks. I think Walker, though, that's a good deal. If you think Michigan State could go possibly, 11-1, or even 10-2, because that's what you have to do. You have to bet on if that team will have a good record. If Matt Corral might be the best player in the country, but if they're 8-4, he's not getting the Heisman.
Right. Peyton Manning did not win the Heisman because he couldn't beat Florida.
Right.
Eli Manning was the best quarterback in the country, finished third in voting because they couldn't win the SEC as a whole. So you got to hitch your wagon to who you think is going to be in contention at the very end.
And Cooper Manning never even placed. I don't know if people know that about him.
Dude,
brothers.
don't sleep on Cooper, man.
That's
he was
right.
a bad receiver at Ole Miss before he had that injury.
Well, his son is the top quarterback in the country that everybody is looking for. So the next Manning is out there.
Arch Manning.
Arch
Manning. I love that name. All right, hey, after Archie, of course. When we come back, we're going to stop at O'Reilly's downtown to see how to make a honey bear out of a little larceny. What's up next?
On the Rocks is brought to you by Larceny Bourbon. It's so smooth, it's criminal.
Hello, friends. Brent Holverson with Heaven Hill Brands coming to you from beautiful O'Reilly's Pub in downtown Indianapolis, one of 3 locations. And today we have one of the proprietors, Mr. Joel Reitz, and we have our Global Whiskey Ambassador, Bernie Lovers. Gentlemen, how are we today?
Fantastic. Good to be in downtown Indianapolis again. Good to be at O'Reilly's again.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We just had our 50th anniversary last week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
Awesome. That is awesome. That's what you get downtown. It's that kind of history. And just like a historic bourbon here. So you're going to make a honey bear with larceny, I do believe.
We're going to start off with the honey bear.
There you go.
Made a simple syrup with fresh ginger root and orange blossom honey.
Awesome. Well, let's see how you build it there.
We're going to do 1.5 ounces of the larceny. Mix it with the flavors of the peach and apricot naturally with that whiskey. We'll throw the ginger and honey in it. I'm just going to give it a vigorous shake. Make it a little frothy so it looks good.
Absolutely. Shake it hard, shake it with a smile.
That's right, baby.
That's right.
Splash it around a little bit. There's the honey bear there, guys.
And my contribution is the straw. Wow. With the larceny bourbon from John E. Fitzgerald, a nice weeded bourbon. There you go, Brent. The honey bear.
Thank you,
from
gentlemen.
O'Reilly's.
Oh, wow. That's outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, please come down to O'Reilly's to try one of these honey bears and join us next time on The Rocks. Cheers.
Ooh, delish. Thank you for that. We want to remind you the Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Weekend continues this weekend. You can join in the celebration, all the fun. Help support our local bar and restaurant workers. To find a participating bar in your area, you just hit up the website, oldfashionedweek.com. That is the spot. All right, boys, we're ready for your picks. Let's do some recaps.
The amount of money that we're going to make this weekend, we're going to be able to start our own space program. All right, let's get down to business here. We have been giving you nothing but winners all show long, and it is time to recap what we got here. I like Ohio State minus 21. I love the fact that it went down from 21.5. I don't have to worry about the hook. Buckeyes, too much offensively. The Hoosiers can't score. UCLA, minus 1.5, a good old-fashioned revenge beating for Chip Kelly against his old teammates and old folks out in Oregon. We also have my Tennessee Volunteers. They're not going to win the game. I don't even know if they're going to cover or not, but I feel like they can get over 20.5 points. One side, Tennessee, over 20.5 points scored. Western Michigan, your degenerate special, and Boston College. I got to get some points in here, and that's too many points for BC. They cover that with 6.
I like your picks this week.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really do.
That's such a backhanded compliment, by the way.
Well, I'm just
It's
telling
like
you.
when my mom says, "Oh, I heard your show the other day. It sounded real."
It's not made up.
Can we put up mine? No, I said something nice about Hammer, okay? So, to begin with, Notre Dame, that's the game tonight. There's a couple games on, but this should be really interesting. USC has already packed their bags, not just from LA. They packed their bags for the season. Go with Notre Dame, not a great Notre Dame team, but you'll be surprised. They'll probably wind up 10-2. Pittsburgh is a great play today against Clemson just because They have an offense that's explosive. They've been waiting for this opportunity. Clemson is already waving the white flag on the season. Northwestern plus 23.5.
That's a big number.
That's a huge number for a Northwestern team that has not looked very good. I agree this year. It's like, are they putting everybody on, I don't know, some kind of redshirt year or something? Fitzgerald's got things figured out. They're going to be a tough out the rest of the season. Take them against the Wolverines. TCU, the Horned Frogs, it's just fun to say.
Horned Frogs.
Horned Frogs.
It's fun to bet on them. Patterson is a good coach. I don't know enough about West Virginia to say that they've proven anything over the last 2 seasons. The program's kind of went downhill since their coach left for Houston. Air Force, -3. This is not only I love the service academies, the teams like that, because what we're looking at this time of year is they don't turn the ball over. They're still fully vetted into the season. San Diego State's been living on borrowed time. I know they're in the top 25. Take Air Force, Colorado Springs. Love that pick.
Guys, I mean, let's just tell everybody. My picks have been the real picks on fire.
Oh, you have been.
I've been on fire.
You have been on fire. I'll admit that.
All right, so here's the go. I'm going to take the under 46.5 Illinois at Penn State, and here's why I'm doing this. Okay, 8 of Penn State's last 9 October home games against non-ranked teams have gone under. There's that. Then, this past week, as you guys well know, Illinois coach basically threw his team under the bus, saying it like he doesn't have that much talent.
Right.
His roster's terrible.
Bielema is in CYA mode right now.
That's right. So, I'm no motivational speaker, but I'm thinking if I'm an Illinois player, I'm not feeling too hot. And then I'm going on the road, Happy Valley, not good. So Penn State's also the starting QB injured as well. So with all this sounds like a recipe for a hard under. So I'm going under 46.5.
Under 46.5.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
I feel like that's
There's a winner for you.
Best reasoning I've heard on any of these picks.
I do my research, so I got to keep up with you too. Okay. Hey, we want to remind you about Indiana Champions Day. It's coming up at Indiana Grand Racing Casino on October 30th. 4 thoroughbred stakes and 6 quarter horses stakes. Races in one day. More than $1 million on the line, plus 2 handicapping contests to win free money. That's what we're all about, baby, right?
They're like the government. They're passing out free money.
Indiana Grand has live racing Monday through Thursday now until November 11th, so plenty of time to place your bets. All right. We have Bill, actually, coming up as well, I think, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
And if we don't, we'll just take some drinks and make some more picks.
That's right. We'll do our final thoughts up next.
All Indiana Bats is presented by Lunazul Tequila. Feed the wolf.
Oh, man, what a show. It goes by fast when you're having fun, but tomorrow's going to be even better.
Yes, Colts, the prime time game on Sunday night, taking on a certain quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, who you seem to have a little bit of an affinity for.
Jimmy G, my future husband. I have to say, I might have to fade the Colts.
Oh, come on.
Don't hate me.
Well, that'll be
Don't
exciting
hate
to
me.
see where you take that game tomorrow, because Hammer and I both have a play on the Colts game tomorrow. And if you've been watching our NFL show, that doesn't mean it's always the Colts.
Right.
You know, we're about not like the favored team in the city. We're about making you money.
The goal is just the money.
That's right. And we got a cool message in from Peter. Shout out to Peter. He took my bet and he wants to make some money. That's right.
I love that.
Although I feel like Peter would have taken your bet if you just would have said, I got the Judds today in a matchup.
Judds?
Are you talking about
Like
Winona and Ashley?
Dude, if you can do a Jesus Jones joke, I can do a Judds joke, okay?
All right, hey, as always, thank you so much for joining us. We've had a blast.
Good luck, everybody. May all of your bets hit. May the odds be ever in your favor. Kickoffs coming up next.
That's
Good luck.
right. We'll see you back here tomorrow at noon. Cheers.